Welcome my sky-high friends, to another Cannabis Chronicle. Let's soar into outer orbit, look into the expanse of space behind our eyelids and settle in for these fables that will surely have you soon floating away. Another listener story, the dispensary owner. I never thought I'd end up owning a medical cannabis dispensary. 10 years ago, I was working a regular 9 to 5, nothing special, just a job that paid the bills. But everything changed when my mom got sick. She was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and the pain was unbearable for her. The medications the doctors gave her helped, but the side effects were brutal. She was constantly nauseous, couldn't sleep, and had lost her appetite. Watching her go through that, I felt completely powerless. One day, a friend of mine suggested medical cannabis. I didn't know much about it back then, but I was willing to try anything that could give her some relief. We found a doctor who recommended it, and after navigating the whole process to get her a medical card, I went to a dispensary for the first time. I remember walking into that dispensary feeling skeptical and overwhelmed. There were so many strains, edibles, tinctures, and oils. It felt more like walking into a pharmacy than what I had expected. The staff there were so knowledgeable. They listened to my mom's symptoms and recommended a CBD-dominant strain, something that would help with her pain without getting her high. That was the turning point. Within a week of using cannabis, my mom's life completely changed. Her pain was manageable, and she could sleep again. She even started cooking again, something she hadn't done in months. It wasn't a miracle cure, but it gave her a quality of life back that we hadn't seen in a long time. That experience stuck with me. It made me realize how many people could benefit from medical cannabis but don't know where to start, or are afraid to try it. I wanted to help bridge that gap. A couple of years later, when the laws in my state became more favorable for dispensaries, I took a leap of faith and opened my own. Running a dispensary isn't what most people think it is. Sure, you have the typical challenges of owning a business, keeping track of inventory, hiring the right staff, navigating regulations, but what really drives me is the people who walk through that door every day. Most of them aren't looking for a high, they are looking for relief. They are like my mom was, desperate for something that will help them manage their pain, anxiety, or illness in a way that doesn't destroy their body. I've had patients come in who can barely move because of chronic pain. I've had cancer patients who can't keep food down, and parents of kids with epilepsy who are just trying to stop the seizures. When they come back a few weeks later and tell me their lives have improved because of the products we offer, that's the best feeling in the world. I've had people cry in my store, just out of pure gratitude. That's when I know we're doing something right. It hasn't all been easy, though. The stigma is still there. I've had to deal with people who think we're just here to get people stoned, who don't understand that for so many, this is medicine. But every time I see the impact we're making, it reinforces why I started this journey in the first place. One story that will always stay with me is a veteran who came in one day. He'd been dealing with PTSD and chronic pain for years and had been on every prescription medication you can think of. None of them worked, and the side effects were unbearable. We talked for a long time, and I recommended a CBD strain and some edibles for the pain. He was skeptical but willing to try. A month later, he came back. I almost didn't recognize him. He'd gained weight, his skin was healthier, and there was light in his eyes again. He told me that for the first time in years, his pain was still there, but it was manageable. That day, he hugged me. He told me that I'd given him his life back, not the cannabis, but the hope that things could get better. That moment, standing there in the middle of the dispensary, was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. It's easy to forget sometimes, in the day-to-day grind of running a business, why we do what we do. But when you hear stories like his, when you see the difference this plant can make in someone's life, it all becomes clear again. It's not about the profits or the trends or the politics surrounding cannabis. It's about people. It's about giving them options, giving them relief, and sometimes, giving them hope. I still think back to my mom's experience, the way her quality of life improved after starting medical cannabis, and it drives everything I do. Every time someone walks through that door, I want them to feel cared for, listened to, and respected. I want them to leave with something that can genuinely help them, whether it's for pain, anxiety, insomnia, or any of the countless reasons people turn to cannabis. Owning a dispensary has been one of the most challenging and rewarding things I've ever done. The road hasn't always been smooth, but moments like that veteran's story make it all worth it. I'm proud of the work we do here, and I'm proud to be a part of this movement that's helping people heal in ways that medicine alone couldn't. Every day, we're breaking down barriers and changing lives. And for me, that's what it's all about.